Barnacle Bill the sailor, Barnacle Bill the sailor. Ahoy, 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 a ship ahoy! I'm old and rough and dirty and tough, said Barnacle Bill the sailor. I never can get drunk enough, said Barnacle Bill the sailor. I drink my whiskey when I can, my whiskey from an old tin can. For whiskey is the life of man, said Barnacle Bill the sailor.
Yo-ho, 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 yo-ho.
Scrub your decks and wash your necks, oh boy, what a show! We kiss the council miles around, come on, let's go, yo-ho, yo-ho, let's go. Hey!
A sailor's life is always wild
And free.
We sing and we play, we wait and day. We're always broke when we go back to sea.
A sailor's life, the life.
For me.
Attention! No one leaves this ship.
Oh, yeah?
Hey! There!
Oh, yeah. That's the one.
It's only me from over the sea. I'm Barnacle Bill the sailor. I'm all lit up like a Christmas tree. I'm Barnacle Bill the sailor. I'll sail the sea until I croak. I fight and swear and drink and smoke, but I can't swim a bloomin' stroke. I'm Barnacle Bill the sailor.
Are you young and handsome, sir? Are you young and handsome, sir? Are you young and handsome, sir?
I'm old and rough and dirty and tough. I never can get drunk enough. I drink my whiskey when I can, whiskey from an old tin can, for whiskey is the life of man.
I'll come down and let you in. I'll come down and let you in. I'll come down and let you in.
Well, hurry before I bust in the door. I'll rear and tear and rant and roar. I'll spin you yarns and tell you lies. I'll drink your wine and eat your pies. I'll kiss your cheeks and black your eyes.
Sing me a love so low and sweet. Sing me a love so low and sweet.
Says the fair young maiden.
16 men on a dead man's chest.
Said Barnacle Bill the sailor.
Yo-he-ho in a bottle of rum.
sailor.
Tell me that we soon shall wed. Tell me that we soon shall wed. Tell me that we soon shall wed.
I've got me a wife in every port. I'm Barnacle Bill the sailor. The handsome gals is what I court. I'm Barnacle Bill the sailor. With my false heart and flattering tongue, I courts them all, both old and young. I courts them all, but marries none. I'm Barnacle Bill the sailor.
When shall I see you again? When shall I see you again? When shall I see you again?
Never again I'll come no more. I'm Barnacle Bill the sailor. Tonight I'm sailing from this shore. I'm Barnacle Bill the sailor. If you wait for me to come, setting and waiting and sucking your thumb, you'll wait until the cows come home. I'm Barnacle Bill the sailor. Goodbye.
Oh, well, that's it. I know.
Let's go.
Come here, I'll get
And a one fish, two fish. And a one fish, two fish. And a one fish, two fish. That was my volume down. One fish, two fish. There it is. No wonder volume down. Fish, two fish. There it is. No wonder volume down. Fish, two fish. All right. There it is. No wonder. Twitch is fine. I think YouTube was good. We'll double check that. Volume down. Fish, two fish. All right. There it is. No wonder. Twitch is fine. I think YouTube was good. We'll double check that. YouTube is good. All right. There it is. No wonder. Twitch is. Alrighty. I'm going to work on the dress that I started. What is today? Is it Tuesday? It's only Tuesday. I started the dress yesterday on the second half of stream. So we're going to pick that up. I think we'll try. I think I'm in a good spot. Or maybe not. I think I want to make bracelets, some anklets, and some earrings for this set. Let's get Marvelous Designer launched here and see where we left off. I think I have to just chop it up and add the materials. I think the rest of it was okay. Which reminds me, I think maybe I kind of like the drapey thing in here, which is inspiring me to maybe make a Greek outfit of sorts. And are you two? Why can't I grab that? There we go. There's a Go Z in here. I wonder how that works. I should try that sometime. All right, let's do file, open, project. You were in dresses. Oh, I'm tired. Dresses. What were we calling you? Halter tie mini. There we go. I need a better name than that though. And I think I should get. You know what? We should work. Oh, that's right. I have to do the stupid knot. The knot was giving me angst. I'm gonna have to redo that. We'll redo that, and then maybe we'll work on the jewelry. We'll see how this goes. I think what I should do is take the one thing and turn it back into a square. There's two things. Actually, there's two things I should probably turn back into a square. Probably that piece and that piece. And I'm going to turn the heater off because I'm not sure if you can hear that or not. Let's zoom in. Let's see, can we control F those? And we'll move them over there. And I'm not sure, are you the back anchor or the front anchor? Pretty sure I want to flip you around. And you. I think I should. What am I doing here? We're going to rebuild this. We're going to hide most of this. Bring it back one piece at a time until I have it built up, and then we'll insert it onto here, and then the ribbons and stuff should be fine. That's the collar. Let's leave the collar alone. Actually, let's freeze the collar for right now. And is everything else frozen, by the way? It is. So that's probably good. Then I'm just going to, and you know what? I think I will just actually deactivate that for a little bit. Activate, deactivate pattern sewing, and what I want is that one right there. And I'm going to want these. And I want that and that. And that. And that. Do I have all this? Yeah, we'll start with those. So we'll activate those. I'm going to freeze that. So that's going to act as an anchor point. Let's see how everything. Something in here isn't sewn in place. I think what I need to do is I'm going to deactivate these for right now. And this, and that should be the part that goes on top of that. Control F that. Of course that didn't work. Control F that. Still didn't work. There it says Control F that. Now it finally works. I'm going to bring that up here. And I'm going to line that up with this. Oops, I didn't want to do that. So we're going to bring that into there. Why are you not straight? I really don't understand Control F on this thing. What are you? That and that. I think these I'm gonna. No, they're both. Why are they both there? I want one of these. And that one. And if I move you, you're sewn to that piece. You are also sewn to that piece. Why are you sewn to both of them? It's a mystery. I'm going to have to do some resewing. What's the other piece you're sewn to? You both are all sewn to the same things. I'm gonna... No, you're not. You're sewn to something else. You should be sewn not to this, but maybe something like this. So we're going to deactivate. We're going to delete those sewings. Can I delete that? And delete that. We'll resew this. Let's turn the gravity off so stuff will just float around in space for the time being. Okay, that is kind of good, except that's flipped, which means I probably just want to turn you around. Kind of like so. Excellent. And then you are sewn into there. So let's take these two and activate those. And see if that all... Oh, those are still frozen though. Let's stop. So let's unfreeze. I thought I just activated those. All right, that looks good. That's what I want. All right, moving along. So I think the next piece will be maybe that one. Where are you? You're all the way over there. So I'm going to Control F that and move it. It's the next in the stack. I can't tell where I am. There I am. There I am. Let's turn you around. Let's kind of line you up with that. Let's get this top sewn to that with something. And you are sewn to this. That and that. I must have deleted something in here. There should be 6 of these things. That's that one. That's that one. You know what? I'm going to put that one over here. Keep track of it. I'm going to put that one right there. Then I'm going to take, that one is not sewn into anything, so I'm going to take you and sew you into here. Wherever you are. Where are you? Who are you? There you are. There you are. So let's see. I'll start by just attaching that to that. And you're still frozen. You're still deactivated. There we go. Those are odd. We'll sort those out. I think. All right, this is the next one. I'm gonna. That needs to be resewn, not to there. One of these things is right. The other one's wrong. That's I think the wrong one. So we'll unsew that. We'll delete that. I think the other side's right though. All right, that's good. So I'm going to sew this to this. Is good. I actually want this flipped over. So I'm going to unsew this for a second, flip that around and sew it up to that. What are you? Which one? Who are you? Who are you? Okay, there we go. I'm gonna unsew one of these. Not that one, but I think that one. All right, so that's gonna float away for a little bit. Let me just freeze that for a second so it doesn't go too far. And then I'm going to set this to be, I want to say 270. Get that to fold that way. And then we'll sew this on. Slowly but surely, we're putting this back together again. And then when I got it set up, and this will become undone. And then when we got this set up, we'll sew it back into here when I can figure out which way to orient it. Anywho, that one right there. I think I want to, let's just say fold angle of 270. It's going the other way. So I'm going to guess 90 might be my magic number on this one. Yep, that's going to kind of work. All right, then I'm going to sew U to U. All right, we've got 3 layers set up, moving along. Now just to get this one in. So I think I'm going to resew this back to here. Oh, one of these is frozen though. I'll undo that. Let's unfreeze you, and then we can do that. And then we'll put a, whatever this angle is right here. And I'm missing a piece. I must have accidentally deleted it or something. Okay, what are you? You're 270. So we'll make you 90. I'll make that 100 so it wants to really, really, really bend up that way. Like so. And then what I just need is like a copy of this piece. So that's 1. I'm organizing these now. 1 and 2. So I'm going to put that right there. Then I'm going to make a copy of that. Like so. And that's going to get sewn to here. And sewn to here. And that should close it up. That gives me a nice neat square. So in Daz, these are the parts that'll get deleted out, and then this will come apart. That's the plan. All right. Now we'll start putting the ribbons back on. Yo, Charles, is there a way to take a poser product once you get it set up and add eye shades? Yeah. To it, save it out as a little bit asset that you don't have to put together every time. Sure, you can just, once you apply all the materials, just save it as a scene subset. Or if you're really ambitious, you could just save it as a figure prop asset. But the easiest way without too much inks is just resave it as a scene subset. And then you can just grab that and load it right in. That's not the professional way because that keeps all your all your data is embedded inside your saved file instead of being in a data folder. But for your purposes, that's the easy way to do it, and probably the preferred way if you're not looking to redistribute. And that's as simple as, what do I got over here? Do I have a dress in here? So you would have your object, you would do all your changes to it in the surfaces tab, right? Get all your stuff set up, and then once you're happy with that, you can just save as a scene subset. And Bob's your uncle. And you can just choose the parts in the scene you want to save. The easy way I find to do it is the right click and uncheck all, and then just check the parts. So in your case, you probably just check the one thing you want to save it later, and then you can just load it back in. And then you have it right there. And then Bob's your uncle. It comes right back with whatever changes you've saved into it. I'm going to get rid of this because I really don't need that in my current project folder. Let's delete that. So that's what I would do if I'm just doing it for myself. It's a lot easier than, you know, all the other stuff that I would normally do. Does that make sense? I think it makes sense. Anyhow, I've got this all set up. I'm going to freeze these up. We're happy with that. I'm going to rearrange these a little bit. I'm going to make sure I'm going to organize these. Uh, that's my bottom one. Put you down here. Are you my middle one? You are my middle one. And that one there. Okay, so we're going to bring these guys like this. You know what? I'm going to snap that there. We're going to just snap these in here. We're just going to bring these all down here. And I'm going to select these. There's alignment tools. So I'm just going to make these neat with the alignment tools. Align, distribute vertically. So they look nice and neat like that. Isn't that pretty? I'm going to freeze that stuff so it doesn't move around. We're going to hit save here in a second because even though I freeze stuff, this program has a bad tendency of breaking frozen parts. So ideally that should move. I could do solidify except for the back plane. Here, let's hit save on this. And now we're going to set up the rest of these. I'm going to bring these back one at a time, reactivate them and let them pop in here. So is this right click activate? And I'm going to strengthen that. And then we'll just let that pop into place. So ideally, the only problem is it's kind of gotten a little twisted in there. Let me see. I think I'm going to have to flip the normals on that one. So if I stretch it out, bring it back slowly, maybe it'll... No, not today. Maybe we grab this point and try that again. And then bring that back. Nope. I can unsew this and then resew it. If we can drag this around, probably have to do that. Let's stop this for a second. Let's go ahead and flip that normal now. I'm going to undo the sewing right there. And I'm going to let this, it should come off of there, and then we should be able to like maybe drag it around. Maybe what I need to do is, this is annoying, Control F. Hey, it worked that time. resew. I'm going to bring you around over here. And here we'll resew that to that. And given that orientation, it should... There we go. That's what we wanted that to do. All right, we're happy with that. Freeze it. Go on to the next part. Which is that the right thing? You're not supposed to be connected to two pieces like that, are you? You are. Okay, and this is an open end over here. Okay, let's do that piece next. So let's reactivate that one. I can't do that over here. I gotta come over here, activate. Let's see where that should be a simple one. That should just snap into one spot over there and be good. And when we're happy with that, we'll just kind of select it and freeze it. And then, and let's see how that's lining up. So that actually should kind of probably be behind this one. There it goes. And if I do that, so that's what that should kind of look like. And we've got one more to go. We'll freeze that for a second. Let's get this one into place. And you probably, I should probably stop you and move you. Because that lines up. No, it's in, yeah, it lines up in here on the other side of this. I want to put you over here for a second. Yo, Napsmore, how are you doing? I'm going to deactivate you for just a moment. I'm going to get you lined up. I'm still struggling with the knot from... Knots are messy. You know, that's pretty good. We're going to freeze that. And we'll reactivate this one. And you kind of just need to slide over here a little bit. All right, so we're almost there. The tricky part now is getting, this has to get sewn to there, and this is going to get sewn to there. I think maybe I'm just going to take the whole bow rig and turn it a little bit. And it becomes a hot mess with these things fighting in and out. So let's stop the sim. Let's hit save. So I have a nice point to come back to here. We're going to reactivate these. I'm going to move all of this into a slightly better position. I think I'm going to rotate it like that. And I'm just going to have to see what's sewn to what. I'm going to unsew these and then resew them, I think is what we should do. So I know exactly what I'm up to. And then I'm going to take this one, I'm going to line it up with... Oh, you actually get lined up with this right here. And then this. gets lined up with that. And then this is going to kind of struggle behind this is what's going to happen. All right, I'm happy with that. We'll hit save. We're just going to select all of this and activate it. I'm just going to strengthen it all. And let's see. And then I'm going to move the knot in closer so we don't get too much momentum when it pops in. Often you say that, yeah, that's pretty much what I do too. It's the easy way to save things, unless you're having to make an actual product out of it. If you're making a product, the rules are a little different. But for general use for yourself, like I said, save as a scene subset. All right, let's try this. I kind of, it's okay. There we go. There we go. All right, let's unstrengthen. It's working. It's working. I'm going to freeze. I'm going to freeze this anchor point right in the back, and then we'll unstrengthen everything. Well, we already knew how to do that. I was asking for Willie because he was asking me. You already knew about presets. You also know material and other things in the base character, load the surface and stuff. But he was wondering if he could do it where the file structure was a little bit better. We both, because we can't. That's, yeah. It's just different. Yeah, I mean, once you save it into your Daz folder, and you can just save it as a scene subset anywhere, and then you can find it later. The only thing to worry about is it still has to find but the texture paths have to be consistent. And if you save it in Daz, Daz will generate some garbage in the background when you save it. I think this is good. What is the one? Okay, so what I want is I want to click on that. We're going to freeze that one in place. That's going to be like my anchor for everything. And then we can take everything else and unstrengthen it. Yo, Creation, how are you doing? Everybody, check out Creation. Super cool cat. Marvelous artist. Do I want my bows to be bigger? Part of me wants my bows to be bigger. Also, my gravity's turned off. I'm going to turn gravity back on. I'm making a dress. It's looking like this. I'm struggling with getting a tie in the back, though. And then we're going to make some jewelry that'll match it. That's the plan for today. Gravity's currently turned on. I'm going to turn my gravity on a little bit. I'm going to stop that. We're going to do this. Come over here. Give it like a half a G. Everybody, check out and follow Creation. Super cool cat. I love hanging out with your streams too, man. You're so chill. And your stuff is so cool. Oh no! I want to make these bows bigger. Let me see if I can just get you over the back. I am going to hit save before I screw something up again. The way I design this is this can be untied in Daz later on. So it does complicate things. It's not a real knot. It doesn't actually tie, but it lays up. There we go. Okay, that's better. And that one's a little janky, so I'll just do the same trick that kind of smooths it out, and then we can do this. All right, we're going to stop that. I'm going to pull this out, and we're going to make the ends a little bit longer, I think, is kind of the plan. And then hopefully, you know what, I should freeze everything else, except for these two. Let's do that. Control A, freeze. And then these are actually right here and right here. So I'm going to unfreeze those. I'm going to strengthen them so that I can work with them a little better. You are right there. So what I'm going to do is we're going to move this stuff out of the way. And I'm going to just bring you, and I'm just going to slide you out a little bit to give me a little bit of extra room in there. And then we're just going to pull these edges out a little bit. One, two, two, three. One, two, three. Maybe just a little bit more. I think I'll just add one more. All right, so 4. And 4. I'm going to freeze this one for just a second. All right, now let's see. Well, that's getting in there fine. All right, I'm going to freeze that. We'll fix the other one. So I'm going to unfreeze that. I'm going to try to get it to kind of lay out this way first. And I'm just going to grab it and drag it out a little bit, give us a little extra room. And then I'm going to add an extra 40 millimeters on each end of that. So I'm going to just nudge these over 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. And then I'm going to stretch that back the other way. 1, 2, 3, and 4. All right, let's see how that does. Let's pull you around there a little. And we'll let that settle back in. I think I know what it should do. My system's starting to get a little slow now. So I think what I need to do is pull this out so it sits on top of this part here. I think is what's happening. And then let that relax back into place. And that probably should be good. So we're going to stop that. All right, this is almost, I'm almost happy with that. I'm just going to select everything except for this one. There's one piece I want to use as an anchor in the back there. Am I ready to let the rest of the dress be free again? I think so, because the collar got a little janky. And I probably should merge that right there on the collar. Right here. So I think I'll unfreeze those. Select this and glue it back together. I think, does that merge with that? It does. Excellent. I'm getting a little weird pulling going on here. I think that'll work itself out. So I think I'm going to leave this bottom part frozen for right now. And I want to... Here, let's do this. Let's activate that. Except for this one little square that's right here in the back. I'm going to keep that frozen so it acts as an anchor. Are you my piece? I can't see what I'm clicking on. Nope. There it is, right there. Okay. Let's unfreeze that. And let's let the sim relax things a little bit. I'm going to actually have this stuff strengthened. Let's unstrengthen that. Okay, I think we're good. I like the knot. I think the knot's looking good. I think the collar's good. I think I'm going to go ahead and freeze this setup here, and then I think I'm just about there. I just have to add trims and hemlines and things. I think that's the next step. Yeah. We're going to grab that. We're just going to freeze it in place. I'm just going to come over here. I don't think I'm going to put trim here. Or do I want to put a little? I don't think so. I do want a trim line right here. So we're going to offset as an internal line and put 5 on that and say okay. I don't need one here because it's on the waist. I don't need one here. I do want to add a hem. Oh, I already have a hem. Oh, this is invisible. You know what? I decided I don't want the long version. So we're just going to get rid of these hidden parts. And then I'm just going to merge these together. And I think I'll merge these together and we'll line everything up a little better. So that's the waistband. You can't see it because it's up underneath there. So for the Greek outfit, I think I'm going to do something similar to this, except we're going to belt the waist, which is the way the Greeks did it. So it's a double belted. So that might be... I have a rogue outfit I should probably finish up. Get back to. I was paused on that because I wasn't sure what to do with belts. But this last outfit, I'm kind of happy with how the belt's going on that. So I think that has inspired me to do something similar with a rogue outfit that got delayed. All right, are you done yet? There you go. And then I'm just going to merge these. All right, we need to assign some materials. So this is going to be dress top, dress bottom, dress waist, dress hem. I've got dress trim here, dress collar, and these are already, we're going to rename these dress instead of top. So let's do that. So I'm going to copy that. You're going to be dress bottom, copy that, dress waist, copy that, dress hem, copy that, you are dress trim, copy that, I think dress collar, and you are going to be dress top. All right, let's sign you, and then these. Dress tie bows, dress tie knots. Dress tie ends. And dress tie knot attachments, which are the little parts that will get deleted later on. All right, dress bottom, boom. Dress waist, boom. Dress hem. Dress trim. These are... Did I cut and sew these? I don't think I cut and sewed these yet, did I? There we go. Cut and sewn. And I can select that. And that. And those are the dress trim parts. Right there. I'm going to change the color so I can tell. And then dress collar. Is that right there? I think this is good. Let's just do a quick A. Let's come over here. Quad optimized. Alrighty. Looking good. I'm going to unfreeze everything except for that one. I'm going to go ahead and unfreeze everything. Let's hit save. Oops, let's hit save. In the real world, these would probably be the same length. But in Chris's Daz world, I'm going to do it this way. You know what I need to do? We need to set up our UV map. Reset to 2D. Fit to 0, 1. Okay. Back to the 2D window. Let's change the colors. Actually, can I drag you down to right there? Yay. All right, let's change these colors. You can't even see that dress waist. I'm going to make that different. I think apply and close. I think I'm done. Unfreeze. Alrighty. Hit save. Let that do its thing. We're happy with that. Okay, going to hit save again. All right, we're going to, this is the point where we're going to save it out for the Genesis 9 base and the Genesis 8 female. So let's come over here to G9 avatars. Let's look here at the base and let's load that in as a morph target. Add to workspace. Load as a morph target and say okay. And we should see the simulation start, and that should basically become a generic dude. You can't quite see it, but I can see the little orange there telling me that it's still fitting. And when that turns to gray, it means it's done and it's now fitted to the base. So you know what? We're going to take that and export it out. File. Export OBJ selected. Oh, where am I? I need to come up with a name for this thing. I should do that before I start setting up the Daz libraries. We'll go to ChatGTP and see if it has any cool ideas. It's a good way to I don't know. I can't even think what the term is anymore. There's a term for what I'm thinking, and it's gone from my brain. Halter tie mini. I don't want to call this halter tie mini. Actually, let's do this right now. Actually, I'm going to do this HTM for right now. G9. And thin and welded. Yay. Okay, we'll accept that. All right, I'm going to save this as halter time mini G9. Okay, we're going to go back to the G8 version, which is halter right here. I'm going to save this out as a feminine shape that we can use later. And I'm going to say G9 Fem. And thin and welded is looking good. All right, now we're going to fit this to the Genesis 8 female. It's a little bit smaller, so we'll have to scale it up in Daz. I use a 97%. That kind of works. So we're going to load this shape in as a morph target for Genesis 8. Morph target, there we go. Say okay to that. And watch that, and we'll just watch that little arrow when that turns gray. We are good. That was much more obvious, the shape change. All right, that's good. So now we're going to export this file. Export OBJ selected. Back to where we were. Nope, it has no idea where I was. Back to projects. We've been chilling. Yeah. Dresses. Where's my dresses? There we go. Halter time mini whip. I'm going to call you 8 female. And I think this is all good. That's looking good. Okay. Now I'm going to save this. And this is just the 8 female version. Okay, at this point, we're ready to actually start bringing this into Daz. I think I'll do that real quick, and then maybe we can make some jewelry for this. That'll match this outfit. I'm not quite sure. Well, I know I want to make bracelets and anklets and earrings. I think for the earrings, we're going to make these clip-ons. So I'm going to go dig up my 50s outfit, which has clip-on bases. And then whatever sort of chain design I decide for the... Excited for the jewelry? Yeah, I'm going to design a chain that'll go around for the bracelets and the anklets. And then whatever that link is, I'm going to kind of use that as the basis for making bigger, and we'll make earrings out of that. I might double it up. We might have like and then a larger version. So look kind of like the chain, but it'll be just for the ears. And where am I? I'm in Daz. I need to set up a folder for this. We need to come up with a name for this. That's what we need. So I'm going to cheat. Here's one of the things I like to use ChatGTP for. Cool names for a halter mini dress. Neck breaker sounds stupid. Sugar rush. After midnight. After midnight, I kind of like that. Flirt circuit. Heat wave, maybe heat wave. I don't know. So what we're going to do is I'm going to find something that speaks to me here. Nightline, halter. Actually, I kind of like. And then we're going to pop over to Daz and see what exists over there. You like heat wave? I like heat. I can go with heat wave. I'm not crazy about Halo, but maybe just heat wave. Sassy heat wave. Was there a sassy? What else do we got here? Trouble at the collar? I don't think so. The tease machine, kiss and spin, the head turner, fast heart, go go starlet. I think heat wave. I think heat wave. Midnight mood, jet set, darling, flash bulb, siren, last call, velvet, low light. I think let's go see what's at Daz and what's already named heat wave over there. So here's the place that I sell stuff at. So the thing is to not actually match a name that's already over here. So there's a fair chance there is something called heat wave. I would be a little surprised if there wasn't, but D-Force heat wave. See right there, there's a dress already called heat wave. Damn it. And then there's a texture set called heat wave. There's 2 dresses called heat wave. There's 3 dresses, 4. There's 4 outfits called heat wave already over there. Damn it. Maybe sassy. Is there a sassy? It's probably something sassy in here already, right? Sassy doll poses, D-Force, shower towel, sassy shorts outfit, sassy halter. You know what? I might be able to get away with sassy. Let's take a look. Maybe Nightline. Or what was the other nights? Midnight. Midnight's probably too. Nightline might work. And I can say maybe halter. Maybe sassy. It's getting too long. That's the problem. Actually, sassy heat wave. That I might go with that. And then I just use the word sassy. So when I'm making a product, I usually will put something in front of what the product is. So we might be able to just say sassy dress, sassy heels, sassy, and the full name will actually be sassy heat wave. I think we'll do that. We'll double check sassy though. We were looking at sassy. If there was something actually named sassy, it should pop up at the front, right? Ah, we are talking about the Daz search engine though. Sassy attitude, sassy scissors, a sassy shorts. But if we say sassy heat wave, I think we're getting enough differentiation there. We're doing that. We're doing it. Sassy heat wave. There we go. Start a sassy theme line. Maybe. I do have a CC Basics line already going. I think I've already got 8 things into that at this point. All right, we're going to go over to the projects folder. We're going to just take a pit stop here at the template folder and copy this. Then we're going to go back down here to dresses. Dresses begins with a D, I know. Dresses right there. I'm going to sort by date modified. So I'm going to go ahead. At this point, it doesn't really hurt for me to rename this. If I already was in the middle of making the Daz stuff, this would really be a pain in the butt. Sassy Heat Wave outfit. We'll do that dress. Sassy Heat Wave dress. And then I'm going to paste that stuff in here. I have a bunch of starter shaders, so that's what's getting copied over here. So while that's happening, come here. So right there, I'm going to call that Sassy Heat Wave. And maybe we'll try that with the cap lock off this time. There we go. So that's going to go there. Then we're going to come down here to the Genesis 9 folder right there. And instead of outfit, we're going to say Sassy Heatwave, like so. Get rid of that extra space. So that's looking good. All right, we've got our folders set up. I'm going to actually, I have to come over here to Daz. So we have to hook that folder up so we can actually use it in Daz. So we'll go do that here with the Content Directory Manager. Daz formats, add projects, dresses, Sassy Heatwave, select that folder and accept that. Let it do its thing. Dum dum dum. Okay. There's our new folder. So when we save, we're going to save down into here first. All right, let's load in a Genesis 9. I start by fitting it to Genesis 9, and then I'll fit this. We'll auto fit it over to Genesis 8, make some tweaks. There we go. All right, let's load in our address. Let's try that again. Okay, we saved this in the whip folder, and we want that one right there. And you know what? I'm going to change the name of that now. Sassy Heatwave. Dress. There we go. I'm going to just spell that out. And open that up. And that was set for Genesis, so this needs to be 10,000. There we go. Excellent. I'm going to put a deforce modifier on it right off the bat, and we'll see if it does anything bad. So we run a sim. There are a couple of things. That can go wrong. One is it explodes. The worst thing, though, is if it just vanishes. And it didn't vanish, and it's not exploding. So I think we're good. I'm going to go ahead and cancel. It's a little slow. There's an awful lot of mesh in there. All right. Clear the sim. I don't think my sim cleared. This is running. Did it? It may have. Dang, this is moving slow. You know, it probably doesn't help that I have so much other stuff open in the background. Look at that. You can see my graphics memory is pegged at 10 Gs while streaming. You know what I think? I think we'll close Marvelous Designer down because I'm probably good with this for the time being. I think I saved that, so we should be able to just close that. I should see it's oh my gosh. Look at how much of a strain that Marvelous Designer was putting on the system. All right, we're gonna fit this to Genesis 9. You still look like there we go. That's what it was supposed to do. All right, let's activate the transfer tool. I want Genesis 8, Genesis 9. I want the dress. You are a dress. You are a loose dress. I'm going to accept that. It's done. We're going to, okay, so all my fabric names are garbage right now. We're going to clean those up because Marvelous Designer loves adding extra crap to the material names. It's so close to being useful, but then it says, hey, you know what? This is looking pretty good. I'm going to shit on this. So now I have to get rid of this garbage off the ends of all of these. It's some sort of internal thing with Marvelous Designer to keep track of materials, I'm sure. But you know what? I really don't need it to export that. Okay, that is good. Um, so we're going to do a couple other things. Let's put our generic shader on here, like that. Let's put a deforce modifier on there. Let's come down here, and what I do with all my dresses is set that bend stiffness to 0.1. That's the single thing that prevents most explosions right there. We're going to add a subdivision to that, so pop over here to Scene tab. Going to edit geometry, convert to sub D, and then we'll put a smoothing modifier on here as well. Add a smoothing modifier. I'm going to come over here. Because of the way I work with stuff, it usually works out best to have the smoothing modifier set to generic. I'm going to hit my memorize button so that it memorizes and it remembers all of that. We're going to do a couple of things. There's a waistband in here. We're going to adjust the D4 setting on that so it holds in place better. Also, this little hemline here, I'm going to add a little bit of contraction to it so it tightens up. So we're going to do that. So that trim right there. We're going to come over here. You know what? I think I'm going to set everything to 0.9 to begin with. It's like mostly dynamic, but it'll hold more shape. And then this trim, I'm going to come over here to the contraction expansion ratio and say 95 so it tightens up just a little bit. And the waist, we're actually going to set that dynamic strength to be half. So it probably won't move much. Let's do a test. That runs a lot faster with Marvelous Designer shut down in the background. That seems to be working. I might tighten that up just a bit more. That kind of drooped down a lot, didn't it? I might tighten that up a lot, actually. Yeah, I might stiffen that up too. That trim. It should be right there. I'm going to change the color so I can just see it. Make sure that it is what I think it is. It is what I think it is. So maybe if we adjust that dynamic strength even a little bit lower and come over here and set you to say 95 or 90. So 95. And if I can make that stiff enough so that it doesn't droop down past the waist is kind of what I wanted to do. So we're just kind of watch that. Oops. I typed in 90, not 0.9. Damn it. Let's try that again. 0.9. That went too far. We're going to find a happy median in here. Maybe if I do the dynamic strength at... Oh, yeah. Is that point supposed to be 90? We'll try that. All right, I'm not there yet. Maybe 75. Oh, almost, almost. I will be teasing this setting as I go. Because once I start posing it, it'll change my mind on how happy I am with it. So making it a little less stiff, making it contract just a little bit more. You know what? I think that's going to do the trick. You can just see that waistband just a little bit, but I think I'm happy with that. All right, how's my knot look? You know, my knot looks okay. I might stiffen that up a little bit. That's the part I call the knot right there. So you know what? I think I'm just going to make that a 0.8. And I think I'm going to be happy enough with that. I don't know, how flat is that? Maybe we'll give the bows a little more body. I think those are the bows right there. So I don't know, maybe change that to 0.8 as well so it doesn't flop quite as much. It's kind of floppy to begin with. That's probably good enough. All right, we're going to call that good. I think I've got everything ready to go. We'll just clear the sim on that. Maybe a little stiffer in the collar so it holds in place. And a little bit of contraction on that. It would be nice if the collar stayed up. Am I just going to make that 0.5? I might. I'm slowly working my way down. 0.6, 60% dynamic. I might, or I might just turn the dynamics off on that. I really don't need the collar to be that dynamic, honestly. Just kind of keep. That's probably going to work for me. All right, we're going to save this, and then we'll fit it over to Genesis 8. So a lot of these settings I just did here will transfer over when we auto fit it, and then we'll reshape it with the Genesis 8 shape we saved from Marvelous Designer. So let's do that. Let's come over. We're going to do a couple of cleanup things here. Sassy Heatwave Dress G9. That's good. I'm going to come over here to edit scene identifier. Oops, cancel that. I clicked on the wrong thing. Scene identifier. I'm going to make this name right here a little more generic. So we're going to take this garbage off. Okay, there we go. This way, I'm hoping hierarchy material files for the Genesis 8 version will also work with the Genesis 9 instead of having to do them twice. I still may have to do them twice. Anywho, all right, we're good. We're ready to save. I have that selected. I'm going to click on this. We're going to go over to our dresses folder that we're working in. Begins with a D. Sassy Heatwave. People. This is the Genesis 9. Clothing. Me. Sassy Heatwave G9. And right here. Sassy Dress G9. Sassy Heatwave. Now I'm just going to say sassy down here. And the product's going to be Sassy Heatwave. Sassy Heatwave. I think that's good. You are a dress. You are for Genesis 9. The vendor is me. Product is Sassy Heatwave. Did I spell that right? Looks like I may have. All right, we accept that. And away it goes. Okay, So there it is, saved. I can get rid of this, except I'm just going to hide it. I'm going to save this file, save as a seam. I'm going to make a sassy heatwave folder here in the promos that I can save stuff into. And I'm just going to call this whip for right now, just in case. Just in case I regret it when I delete this. Or actually, I'm just going to hide it for right now. We'll just do that. All right, let's load Genesis 8 into here. I've got nothing to drink. Oh no. So my latest trick is just to auto fit the G9 to G8, load in the shape we saved, and update the base geometry. I might then rerun the transfer tool, but what it does is it saves me the time of having to rename all the materials, set up the D4 settings, and it also comes in with some adjustment morphs that are created with the Genesis 9 version. So it saves me a little bit of time doing it that way. If only Genesis 8 would load. That's my dream. It's almost there. There it is. All right, so we take you, get Genesis 8 female, load you on. It's going to say, hey, that's not supported. Do you want to fit it? I'm going to say yes. You're coming over from Genesis 9, and you are a dress. And I'm going to use this generic knee length template, and we'll say okay to that. And it's going to do its thing. The shape might be a little off, but we're going to fix that. All right, we're impatiently waiting. There it goes. It's a little janky from the auto fit. And also, we're going to change that name to be G8 female. We're going to update the shape with the one we saved from Marvelous Designer for Genesis 8. So we're going to do that. We're updating the vertex positions. And I'm going to use that one right there. And we're going to accept that. And right here, because my Genesis is a little small in Marvelous Designer, we're going to scale that up just a little bit. So 10,309.3 is my magic number. And there we go. That looks a lot better. And let's just test the D-force on that. That's looking fine. And I think because of the way I have that set up, it should have tightened up. It was looking a little loose around the back, right? And that kind of, that's not too bad. I'm happy with that. Let's clear that. I'm going to rerun the transfer tool on this so that it adjusts the weight maps for this figure instead of the shape that it was before. This is D-force, so it's not critical I do this, but I'm going to do it anyhow. We want Genesis 8. We want the G8 dress. We're just going to use that knee length template. I'm going to say accept, and it's going to do its thing again. But this time the weight maps are a little more optimized to this shape instead of the one that we brought in from G9. And then we should be able to save this for G8. And then we have like about a half hour to start working on jewelry. I'm going to pirate some earrings from a set first. I'm happy with that. I'm going to save this. So we're going to kind of just do this. but not there. But we're going to save you over for Genesis 8. And right there, Sassy Dress G8 female. And I'm going to spell it out here, Heat Wave. And the product is Sassy Heat Wave. Me, name of the dress, type, and what it's fitted to. Okay, we're good. All right, I'm going to pop over. I'm going to hide my content library for just a second. I'm going to bring up my 1950s Daisy outfit. Are you doing anything? You're locked again, aren't you? Dang it. What is it? Is it in window? Workspace? Is it in workspace? Lock docking. There we go. Lock docking accidentally. There's a shortcut key that's close to something I use a lot, so I will sometimes accidentally hit that. So I'm going to put my content library over here where you can't see it. And I am looking for, I'm going to go to the directory with my 1950s Daisy dress in it over here. And people, and you know what, we'll use the Genesis 8 one. And I'm going to say it's probably in clothing, Seacox 50s, or maybe it's under Daisy. Or maybe I have to completely, maybe I don't even have it installed. That's probably what it is. Dang, dude. I have, what do you mean? Do I have earrings with that? I do have earrings. Those are clip-ons. I'm going to steal those. There we go. The Dale dress. I have earrings I made for the Dale dress. We're going to pirate those. Because these are clip-on backs. So we're going to use the backs for this as like a starting point for the other one. And I only really need one. Hey, Charles. Take care, man. It's good to see you, buddy. Oh, yeah. All right, that's good. I'm selecting that. We're going to export this. Are you got any smoothing on or anything? I don't. Nope. Oh, you're a bone. Oh, you're earrings. Oh, you're a figure. I'm probably not going to make a figure out of this. I don't know. What am I doing here? I am looking for mesh resolution. You're at base. I'm going to export that. And we'll put that there. And we'll come in here. I'm going to say sassy heatwave earrings. Well, yeah, we'll do that. We'll probably overwrite this later. I should probably do the Genesis 9 ones. Actually, it doesn't make any difference. I'm gonna put these on rigid follow nodes, I think. I'm designing in my head, sorry. Yeah, we'll accept that. All right, let's go over to Blender. Blender is launching up on screen 2. My system thinks it's screen 1. That's just the way it likes to play. All right, we'll put Blender over here. It's the 5.00. I know there's been other little incremental changes, but I haven't bothered with those yet. All right, we're going to model against the Genesis 9 to start with. So let's import that. And let's get those earrings. And Sassy Heat Wave. And there. And what I need is only half of this. We're going to mirror this. So I'm going to delete the parts I want to keep. And I'm going to hide you for just a minute while we clean this up. Look at that overly dense mesh. Okay. I think we're good with this. I can't help myself. I'm going to clean this up. There we go. That's pretty. I'm going to do the same thing over here just because that shape annoys me. Anyhow, that is a clip-on base. This is a little large. I think I'm going to try to... I'm going to make it a little smaller. I don't know. We'll work with this. Let's bring that back in. So this is going to kind of end up lining up about in here. I'll have to rotate that a little bit for Genesis 9. I can't see it now. Ack. I'll just do it this way. RZ. I think that base is too big. I think I'm going to make it. Maybe I'll just make the whole thing smaller. That back's not too bad. Is that lining? No, these ears just don't quite line up with... You know what? I think I just will make it a little smaller. Rotate. Rotate on the Z. Pull you back like that, and then I'm going to redo this. I think what I'm going to do is make this smaller, bring it up, and so we're going to get rid of most of this through here and here. Let's do that. Oh man, I was doing some weird ass deleting there, wasn't I? Okay, I wasn't doing base selecting deleting. I was deleting edges or something stupid like that. What happens if I go around that one? That's what I thought it would. What if we do that? Yeah, let's get rid of that. Get rid of those. I'm going to work that shape out. Don't worry. Although I think I'm going to probably pull that out just a little bit. Maybe like that. Still, you know, I still want it to be a little smaller. And then I still want to pull this out. I think that'll be good. What is the normal? Little proportional editing. Set that to be connected. Okay, I want to get this up further, and then I'm going to add some shape to it. And actually, I do want to pull that out a little bit further. While you make noise, phone. Okay, so that's going to come up here. Just going to add some loop cuts here. I'm going to spread that out a little bit. I'm going to bevel that up a little bit. I got to close this top off, but here, I'm going to round that off. You know what? I'm going to make you a little wider. Round you off. That'll probably work. It's a little janky. And close this top off up here. So I'm going to grab you and you. I missed. Yo, DJ Stulu, how are you doing, buddy? Eventually, I will accidentally select the stuff I really want to select. My clipping's too close. I gotta tweak my clipping here a little bit. View, clip start, 0.001. Hey, let's give DJ... Hey, check out our good friend DJ Stulu. Shout out at DJ Arte. No, DJ Stulu. What the frick? Damn it. At DJ Stulu. There we go. Everybody, check out our good friend. Give him a follow if you aren't already. Okay, I want that, and I want that, and I want to fill that, and then I want to just take that and fill it across like so, and then I want to grab that and fill it as well. I'm going to call that good. I'm going to just take this, move it a little bit with a little bit of fall off, give this a little bit more shape, and I think that's going to kind of be good for that. Do I like the Chris Cox emotes? I mean, they're okay. Oh, that Chris Cox. The one that is younger, better looking, and more talented than me. Fine. Follow the official Chris Cox. See if I care. I may have checked him out from time to time. I think my earring's gonna be like that. It's a little weird. I'm probably gonna tweak it some more, but I think we'll start with that and we'll go from there. This earring's coming out really janky. The more I tweak it, the worse it gets. I think I'm good. I'm gonna leave it like that. That's the start. Yo, Art, how are you doing? All right, let's make a chain link that we're going to use for the bracelets and the anklets, and it'll also work and also work it into the earring somehow. Is what I'm thinking. I'm still kind of designing the earring in my head. I think I'm going to start with a circle and go from there. So we're going to make a little torus. Shift A, mesh. We'll start with a torus. I'm going to make that a little bit thinner. And I'm going to tweak, what did we say, 24 and 6? 8. I like 8 for this. And I'm going to say 16 for that. Probably good. I want that minor raise to be 0.1. I think that's going to be good. I'm going to add some sort of linkage thingy over here. And then maybe I'll kind of put that there. I'll run a post through the middle. Actually, I'll run a post through the middle. It'll come out. Actually, let's start here, run out here. Then I'll add a couple pieces here as if it's linkage. Then I'm going to put a couple of pattern pieces or something on the inside. So let's do that. So I'm going to copy that. I still have the turn that off. So that's going to be a working shape there. I think this one, I'm going to pull you all the way out to here. And I think I'll make this a little smaller than the other link. And scale Shift X, which means I can just, I'm going to do that. Yep. Okay, let's Shift D that. Put that over there. Bring you up into here. And actually, we're going to make you a little, what are you doing over there? I Shift D. You know what? I'm going to switch you back to global. There we go. We'll scale that. Let's move you back over here. I should seal off these ends now. I'm going to move these first. I'm going to move those 3 up. These 3 are going to go down. So I'm going to scale Z. Nope. Yeah. Scale Z. There we go. I want that to kind of shape like that. And now I think I'm good. Now I'm going to seal the ends off. I'm going to bevel these ends. That's acting funny. Something's amiss. You know what? I probably have something weird going on with my... Oh, that's all red. Ooh, bad boy. Let's fix the normals. That's what's causing it to be weird. Normals, recalculate. Outside. There we go. That's better. That was my problem. Do that. Now I'm going to do the same. Let's see. Fill. Do that. Do the same thing over here. What did I got? I got 13 minutes. I'm in good shape. Although for this, probably want that to come into here. Okay, copy that. Control L, Shift D. Let's bring that. Where's my right there? Let's make that negative. So it flips it right over there. Control L, Shift D. Let's put these into the center. And I think I'm going to copy this one. Bring you out over here. So do I want to make you... Maybe I do something like that. Put you over here. And I think that's going to be my link. I'm probably going to put a subdivision on here later on. I forgot all about that emote. The good old unicorn cake. All right, I'm going to put an array modifier on here just to see how we're going. Then I think this will be the basic shape that I can kind of use for building the earrings. And then this will also be the link for the anklet and the bracelet, I'm thinking. It's too large right now. And you know what? I think I'm going to Shift D. We're going to hide the new one. I'm going to come into here, the old one, tap in and select all. And we're just going to... Oh, you're supposed to be hidden. And let's do you off the 3D cursor. Let's do you off the 3D cursor, which is in the center of the universe right now. And we're just going to make that really, 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 really small. And then I'm going to array this along a curve. So here, let's bring in a curve, a circle. I'm going to just make a simple anklet out of this. Where am I? I'm in object node, tab, scale. Look at it from the front. Move it over there. zoom in. I'm going to put it right about there. Let's switch this to back to global, and let's switch you back to median. I'm going to get it somewhere in there. Are we back online yet? Yeah. Are you back online? You lost the signal. Oh no, Art lost the signal. So let me see if I can remember how to do this. I think I use an array modifier and a curve modifier to fit this to that. So let's put an array modifier on here. Is that how it works? I think so. Add modifier, generate array, and then deform curve, and I probably am going to have to look this up again because it's been a little while. No results. I got a curve right there. Are you not a curve? Oh, you're a regular circle. Dang it. Oh, actually, here, we can do this. I can just convert that to a curve. I forgot. Convert to curve. All right, select that. There it is. Kind of like that. We have to tweak it a little bit, and we have to adjust. So we're going to rotate it. So tab in A, R, X, 90. Okay, I probably want it to be a little bit smaller. Scale. Actually, I'm going to make sure I'm scaling down on the 3D cursor. Also, I'm going to change my array so I get a little bit of an overlap in there. So where am I with this X offset? If we say 0.9, if we say 0.85, so we're going to kind of do that. Yeah. Okay. And then we're just gonna. Isn't there a thing in here to? I can't read these. Let's widen that up a bit. There's a way to fit it? I mean, I can just do this. And then we can just scale it a little bit. There's a couple of ways. We can always adjust this just a little. Maybe not. So I'm going to tweak the curve. Where's my curve? Circle. There it is. Do that. Center you to the median point. I can kind of pull those out. I'm going to kind of just do that. Something like that. Of course, now I got a gap in there. I can either adjust the sizing of this or tweak the, I think I'm just going to adjust the sizing of this. I'm actually going to make it smaller. And add a couple more. If I go back one, yeah, I'm close. Oh, that works. I like that. It's kind of what I'm going for. I'll use that. I've got 4 minutes left. Let's put a mirror modifier on here so that it will fit to both. And generate mirror. And you know what? I think I'll copy that and put it around the wrist. RY 45. So I'm going to tab out and then I'm going to rotate it. Actually, let's put the origin to the object. Set origin to geometry. And now I'm going to just do that. We're going to use local scale Y. Let's try that again. Scale Y is good. Scale Z. Yeah, that's what I thought it was going to do. We're almost there. I tab out. I need to make a copy of the link and assign it to the new circle. That one there, we're going to call that link. And this is probably where I'm going to stop for the day after I get this onto the arm there. So, Shift D that. Come over here to the curve modifier and choose that circle. Okay, we need to do a little bit of tweaking here. Shift A, all transforms. There we go, that's better. That kind of makes a little bracelet. We'll have to tweak the array on that just a little bit. It's a little, goes a little too far. Also, I'm going to tweak the tilt on that to be a little bit better. But where are you? You're in the array, so we're going to just back that up a little bit until we're right about in there. And then do I just want to, let's say 0.8 or something on that? 0.81. 0.82. 0.818. Something like that. I'm going to, where's the curve? I've got too many points in this curve, so I'm going to maybe just simplify it out. Can we... Is there like a simplify? I'm going to worry about that later. We're at 9 o'clock, and I'm going to call it a night right about here. And then what I'm going to do is I'm going to take this shape and use it to build out an earring. I think what we'll do is we'll probably put one right there, and then we'll hang out another one of the same size, and then a bigger scaled up piece down below that. And that'll make the earrings. And those will match up with the dress. And we have our dress over here. So some nice progress there. Hey, thanks to you all for being here. Hey, I don't know if I if we got a shout out for Crazian earlier or not, but we're going to make sure you're following Crazian. Super cool cat. Love them tiny paintings. And if I lived anywhere near Crazian, I would actually think about getting a tattoo. Anyhow, let's see who's on, and let's go say hi to somebody else on Twitch. If you're on YouTube, thank you. I really appreciate that. Like and subscribe. If you're on Twitch, feel free to stick around for the raid. Hey, I sell stuff on Daz. Feel free to go over there and buy. Also, feel free to join the Discord if you haven't already. If you put stuff in the gallery, we share it on Saturday nights. It's a Saturday night social at 8 p.m. on Saturdays. It's an art share. It's a Discord chat and an old cartoon. Betty Boop went into the public domain, so we've been watching Betty Boops, but there's only 3 of them in the public domain, and I think we've watched 2 of them, and I've already watched the other one. We might watch the other one again this week. But we got more Mickey Mouse cartoons we can look at too. A bunch of stuff from 1930 is now in the public domain that we haven't watched before, so that might be on tap. Anyhow, where are we? We are over here. I'm going over here to Twitch. I'm going to see who's on Twitch, and we're going to raid one of our friends. And if not one of our friends, we'll find somebody else. Sally Quinn is doing art. She's a marvelous artist and a body painter and does gaming. Irumakin is doing the puzzle stuff. I'm going down even further. Mecha Miniatures is on. I'm just making sure none of the close art friends are on. If they are, we'll raid them. If not, we'll Targus Song. I haven't seen him in forever. I'm not even sure who the Chris Wright is. Why do I have them on here? So I think Irumakin. Zyrus Stana is on. She's a crafting friend. Let's go over and say hi to Zyrus Stana. She's going to be stopping pretty soon. But she does cross-stitching. One of our crafty friends. So let's pop over there and say hi to her before we call it a night. Thank you all for being here. So, yeah, I think I'm all ready to do that. So let's start this raid. Let me say Zyrus Stana, one of our crafty cross-stitching friends. And I'll give a quick shout out here in case you aren't following already. Give her a follow. And then we'll start this raid. Do that. Hey, we have raid calls. If you can join the raid and you're not subscribed, feel free to use that raid call. If you are subscribed, you can use the official sub raid call there. And I think I'm good. I will be back in 2 days. Thursday, 7 p.m. Probably working on this outfit. It might be time to texture it. So we might be doing the textures. We'll see. We might be also working on the jewelry. I may not get back to it. And I got to make shoes. We're going to make some simple heels to go with this outfit, along with the anklets, the bracelets, and the earrings. So anyhow, I appreciate everybody for being here. It was awesome. Let's go over and say hi to Zyrus Stana. And I think, yeah, that should be it for tonight. So, hasta la vista, baby.